As I was coming up, I wasn't really keeping my nose clean like that.
We went to the same school, same area that I grew up in.
I was around certain individuals and I had to kind of face the consequences. Possession with intent to supply Class A drugs. I got sentenced to 3 years and 7 months.
So how was that time in prison?
Everybody's doing their thing, they're making progress. You're just frozen in time. I was a bit lost at the time, I'm gonna be real with you. I don't even want to go back on the roads because I don't want to go to jail. I started working in the railway, warehouses, delivery driver. Can't lie to you, bro, for me, it just wasn't cutting it.
Your life could have easily gone one of two ways at that point.
People around me, this is when they start making bigger moves. Had I not gone jail, I don't know what could have happened. I don't know if I could have got caught up in the wrong place at the wrong time. If I didn't get bagged, I would have kept doing what I was doing.
You kind of got no option but to become an entrepreneur in that way.
Bro, it was mad uncomfortable, bro. Putting yourself outside your comfort zone like crazy. And that's business for you, bro. I'd made thousands of phone calls. Bro, I got turned down so many times, it was a joke, innit? A lot of people would have just gave up. At the peak of my road life, I was probably making a month.
Good, bro.
There's a lot of opportunity with this, man. I mean, it's crazy to me that a lot of people don't know. What I want to do is expose people to the game. They're seeing someone like me, if he can do it, bro, 100% I can do it.
Yusuf, what's happening, bro?
I'm doing very good, bro. How you doing? You're right,
I'm
yeah?
Good, alhamdulillah, man. Appreciate you coming on CEOCAST, bro. I've seen you online, doing your thing, killing it. I was like, you know what? It's only right that we get you to come on the podcast, bro.
Bro, I'm very, very honored to be a guest on there, man. Thank you very much for having me on.
And it's just funny enough that the fact that we were walking in here, just chilling, chopping it up, and somehow you've gone to the same school that I did. You're a year older than me. We know the same people. We're probably involved in the same group of friends. But when I came to the school, you had left. So I passed it a line then. So we could have been boys for about 10 plus years or whatever, then doing this podcast, which would have been mad as well.
That would have been more than mad, bro. But it shows you, bro, it's a very, very small world, man.
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah, you know what I'm saying? It works in mysterious ways sometimes.
That's it, bro. That's it. So to get straight into it, though, what do you do?
So I'm involved in property. I'm a property entrepreneur. I've also got a property training company that teaches people how to get started in property and with the Airbnb strategy as well.
Yeah, fair enough. So when you say Airbnb strategy and, getting people involved in property, because I know there's so many different ways of getting in property. I think I've done a few property podcasts now, but you obviously got buy, refurb, sell, you got buy to let, you got Airbnb, which I know you just mentioned there. But what sort of strategy are we talking about with yourself?
Of course. So typically when people think about property, they think about buying properties.
Yeah.
Now we more focus on a slightly different strategy. So instead of us buying properties now, we more focus on controlling other people's properties. That way it's a much lower barrier to entry. And if you're, using strategies such as Airbnb or service accommodation, it's a way for you to maximize, cash flow and profits for yourself. And bro, it's an entry point into property.
So, good entry point into property because you don't have to put down a fat mortgage and then have that mortgage on your head and cover that cost and actually buy the asset. What you're saying is basically you can partner up with a landlord and use their accommodation for service accommodation or something like that on a short-term basis, right?
100%. You can pitch a landlord the idea, get him open to it, and then you're pretty much acting as his tenant.
Yeah.
You're paying him the rent, no issues whatsoever, and then you're obviously taking it on, you're doing it up, getting it to a certain level, and then you're running it as an Airbnb where you're renting it out night by night. Bro, there's certain places where you get properties, you're making a good couple of grand per month, easy. Profit clean from one property.
Is it?
100%. I had there was a few places I had in Canary Wharf. They weren't the highest cash flow in properties, but average amount we were looking at was anywhere between £1,200 to £1,500 per month per property.
Damn,
in profit.
That's a lot. Do you know what I like with yourself as well, bro? Because a lot of people claim online that they're doing Airbnb, right? But I think you're the only guy that I've come across has really shown the behind the scenes of this and doing the phone calls with the landlords and getting the rejections and then, sending it to them exactly how it is. And I love that sort of content that you're putting up, bro. So that's sick, bro. When would you want to come up with the content of showing people how it actually is?
It is. It's exactly what you said, bro. There's not really a lot of people that are doing it like that. I mean, let's be very honest as well. A lot of people, not just in the Airbnb and property space, but just in different niches and industries, they'll put themselves out there like they're a guy, but let's be very honest, they're not really.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying? They're just more pushing it out there to try to the course.
That's what we call the gurus.
Exactly, the gurus, bro. Yeah. Exactly that. So my thing was, okay, cool, let me go a lot deeper and really show people behind the scenes of what it's really like. And to be fair, bro, even with the landlord phone calls, bro, no one's doing that. No one's, at least not in the UK. In America, they do that.
Yeah.
In America, they do that. Even with, recently I started doing some content where I've got some money on the table. And then I'll start demonstrating, okay, if you're looking to get started off on property, depending on how much you have, this is how much you can get started off with. And obviously the money's there just to kind of get people a little bit gassed up and build up engagement and stuff.
How long have you been doing this for now?
I got started in 2020.
Okay, so what's that, about 4 years, 4.5, 5 years?
Exactly, bro, 4 years ago.
Okay, so you would have been, 23?
24.
24.
I got started when I was
Damn,
24.
bro. So before we get into the whole strategy and how this all works and everything, let's hear your life story, bro. Because now I know that you're from the same area that I grew up in. We went to the same school. And I know what path I went down in that school. Yeah. I want to know your life trajectory, bro. So let's throw it all the way back to Yusuf as a kid and how life all planned out.
Of course. Nah, 100%, bro. So obviously, you know, grew up in pretty much a similar area, went to the same school. I can't lie, you know, as I was coming up, you know, I wasn't really keeping my nose clean like that. I was around certain individuals, you know, they were out here on the roads doing their thing. And for me, I kind of saw that as, yo, like this is how you can make big money. Do you feel what I'm saying? So when you're kind of exposed to that life and you see all the benefits that it comes with, and you see the big guys that pretty much have it all, you're pretty much alert to that. So that's what I got started off with from a very, very young age. And
what age are you talking?
Bro, I would say probably the age of probably year 8, year 9.
Yeah, I would have thought so, because I know that school, because I joined in sixth form, but I know before that it was a lot more rougher.
Yes.
So I wouldn't be surprised if you said year 7, year 8, year 9.
Yeah.
Because I know people who did.
No, 100%, bro. Even some of the people that you mentioned, some of the names I was talking about off camera as well, bro. Like some of them, you know, they're doing very well now. But before that, like during those times, they were up to certain activities as well.
A lot of them going to be watching this podcast, you know.
You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's where it is, bro. But that's where I kind of came from. And I can't lie, man. I had to kind of face the consequences because, you know, I got caught up. This was back in 2015. I was like 19 at the time. Possession with intent to supply Class A drugs. And
really? Okay.
Yeah, I got caught up during that time. And then, you know, I ended up doing I got sentenced to 3 years and 7 months in 2016 for that.
Okay. So when did you come out?
Came out in 2018.
Okay. So you came out before lockdown then?
Before lockdown, that's right, bro.
So how was that time in prison, I suppose?
Time in prison, it was, can't lie, man, it wasn't the one. Not necessarily because, you know, it's mad rough and this and that, but it's just, yeah, bro, man, the way I saw it, it's just a massive, massive waste of time, bro. It's kind of like when you go jail, time just stands still. Everything else is moving. Everybody's doing their thing. They're making progress. But then you're just there. Like you're just frozen in time. You know what I mean? And then obviously where, you know, for me, I was privileged enough not to have like any, you know, beef, any problems in any areas and stuff. So it was easier for me on that part.
Yeah.
You know, but other than that, it was just a massive waste of time, bro, if I'm being honest with you, man. So I come out in 2018 or June. Come out then. I was kind of, you know, I was thinking, okay, what should I do? I was a bit lost at the time. I'm going to be real with you, bro. I was thinking, should I go back on the roads? But I don't really want to go back on the roads because I don't want to go jail. Should I start working a job? So that's what I started doing. I started working a job. I did little different things. I started working in the railway, warehouses, delivery driver. But I can't lie to you, bro. For me, it just wasn't cutting it. And, you know, I started looking at different business ventures to get started off with. It was actually property. I came across it in late 2019. It was from an ad I saw on social media. It was this guy talking about, you know, if you want to get started off in property, there's many different strategies that you can do without having the most amount of money. So then I just started looking more into that. And then, bro, I started going to different events, networking events, property events. And then I would say from January 2020, I just went full-fledged into this, bro, man. Full-fledged. And that's how I pretty much kickstarted my journey. But prior to that, bro, I can't lie. Yeah, man, I was out here, man.
I'm going to throw it back to, you know, the times back there, yeah, because I feel like as you're living this life on the edge of allegedly doing whatever, yeah, and you're involved in that life, I don't think anyone really deeps the fact that, okay, I can go to prison at any time if I get caught or whatever the case is. So as you're living that life, did you ever have that reflection point when you're sitting in the cell? Did you ever have that reflection point of thinking, raw, what was I doing in my life? Where did it all go wrong? What can I do to come out? I don't want to go back on the same thing. I want to really progress here, because there are some people as well who also go to prison, go back on the roads. They make more money, they make more moves and all that sort of stuff. They become kingpins, but then once they get caught again, they're gone for life. Do you know what I mean? So your life could have easily gone one of two ways at that point there.
No, 100%, bro, 100%. I think I'm definitely fortunate to, you know, be... The thing is, I was definitely a lot more open-minded, like coming up and that. I would try new things, I'll try different things. And I didn't really lock myself into, okay, the road life is going to be a long-term thing. Does that make sense? But no, 100%. To answer your question about, you know, me reflecting on it, 100%, bro. And the thing is, when I was on the road as well, you know, people around me, this is when they start making bigger moves. Do you feel what I'm saying? Because we all kind of came up together, people around me. And obviously I got caught up doing what I was doing. But then, bro, as I was in jail, you know, people that were very close to me, good friends of mine, they did madnesses. And as a result, you know, a few of them end up doing very, very big birds. I'm talking a few of them got like 15 years. A few of them even got 30 years. You see what I'm saying? In prison. And this was a time when I'd recently went in jail. Does that make sense? So, bro, it could have been a lot worse, man. It could have been a whole lot worse during that time. And then obviously, I don't know if he was about in the area during around maybe, I don't know, like 2016, 2017 times.
I would have just left school then at that point.
Yeah, but there was a lot of madnesses kicking off, bro, man. A lot of madnesses, a lot of beef taking place. And had I not gone jail, had I still been on the road doing my thing, I don't know what could have happened, bro. I don't know if I could have got caught up in the wrong place at the wrong time.
So do you ever look at it, because that's interesting you say that, do you ever look at it like, I know obviously no one likes going to jail, but almost like gratitude because, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. Almost like a blessing in disguise.
Yeah.
100%.
To stop you from going further down the rabbit hole.
100%, bro. 100%. Because the reason why I said that is because if I didn't get bagged, I would have kept doing what I was doing, and then naturally you just move up the food chain.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying? And then you don't, I mean, if you're making more money, you're just going to stop.
Yeah.
Of course you're not going to stop. You're going to keep doing it. And then guess what? When you get to a certain level, that comes with more problems.
Yeah.
And then certain things that you may have to do, bro, if you get caught up with for whatever reason, you know, that could come with a very, very big bird, man. But not only that, you know, you get caught up in the wrong situations and certain people, you know, are trying to do harm to you, bro, that could end very, very viciously, man. So 100%, man. I think me going jail was a massive, massive blessing in disguise. I didn't see it at the time, but given what was going on the outside when I was there, you know, people very close to me, bro, God knows what could have happened, man.
So if there's someone watching this podcast right now who, let's just say they've maybe in the same school, they're younger Yusuf, yeah, what would you advise them? What would you say to them if they're on that side of life?
This episode is sponsored by Fireaway Pizza, the fastest growing pizza company in the UK. With over 100 locations, you definitely have a store near you. The founder of Fireaway was on the show not too long ago, and you can get a slice of the action by using the discount code CEOCAST at fireaway.co.uk. Once again, use the discount code CEOCAST at fireaway.co.uk.
If they're on that, the thing is, bro, like, it's not like I was very, very fortunate because like I had like family members around me that would do all they could to keep me on the right side of things. You see what I'm saying? So I always had an open mind. But then you got some people, bro, that's kind of all they knew their whole life. Do you see what I'm saying? And we're all almost like creatures of habits because we go back to what we know. We do the same thing. You even mentioned it earlier on. Someone goes jail, they come back out, they start doing the same thing over and over again. I think some stats, these are just rough stats. So I think it's like 60, maybe 70% of people that go prison end up actually going back to prison.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying? That's not a coincidence, bro. It's just, you know, that's what they know. Do you see what I'm saying? That's how they feel like they're in control. Think about it, because if that's not an option, what is the other option? You get a job. Bro, like...
And the thing is as well, it's not just as simple as getting a job, because getting a job with a criminal record on you is the hard bit in the first place.
That's another
so
thing.
You might not even end up in the job you want to get. You know, you could be in prison thinking, you know what, it's time to turn my life around. Let me go get a job in, let's just say, finance or whatever. The realistic chances of you getting a job in finance, as sad as it is to say, with a criminal record, isn't really happening. So then you end up turning back to the roads anyway.
That's another thing. I didn't even think about that 100%, because there's a lot of things that, as you mentioned, in finance, for example, if you want to get involved in law, whatever, bro, it doesn't really matter. Like, you're going to be restricted to what you can do because of that staying in your criminal record now. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So, yeah, sorry, what were you going to say?
You kind of got no option but to become an entrepreneur in that way.
100%. I think that's probably a good reason, a big part of the reason why a lot of people, not necessarily just on the roads, but, you know, the people that didn't get the qualifications for whatever reason, that were out here doing like nonsense and stuff. I feel like that's a big part of why it allowed them to make that happen, because like, you've got no choice, bro. You see what I'm saying? It's either this or, I mean, there's nothing else.
Yeah.
It's either this or die.
Yeah.
Do you see what I mean? And that's the mentality I had, bro. I can't lie to you. That's what definitely allowed me to really like hone into this and like just keep my main focus and just go hard, bro. For me, I didn't see myself working a job, bro. I would always tell myself, bro, like, I'd rather die than working a job in there. That's how I felt, but I passionately despise working a job. Obviously, I'm not taking the piss out of people that work jobs. I'm not doing that, but just for me personally. So even for people, like a message, going back to what you said before about people that are, you know, that may come from a similar area to us in a similar situation way back then, bro, I would just say you got to keep an open mind, man. Because another thing you got to think about as well, who are these people? Like, who are they constantly around? Do you see what I'm saying? For me, bro, I didn't have like entrepreneurs around me. I didn't have like business owners. You see what I'm saying? I wasn't, these people weren't around me, bro.
Yeah.
Like the people that were around me, especially the ones that were doing their thing, they were on the roads.
Yeah.
So
it's just the area we come from. That's all we know.
Do you see what I'm saying? Whereas if we were around those people now, it would have been completely different, because, you know, you wouldn't have been outside out of mind. It's like now I get people reaching out to me on socials, bro. They tell me, oh, bro, your story is so inspiring. You know, I'm in jail right now. Some people are in jail. They message me.
It's just sick though.
Yeah, bro. It's a sick feeling, bro. It's a sick feeling, and it makes it more possible for them. Because obviously, I'm kind of like them. Do you know what I'm saying?
You want to see someone relatable. It's like the reason why I started this podcast as well is because yes, there's loads of business entrepreneurs and there's loads of people out there. Yeah, but coming from where we come from, as you just said there, it's not around us. It's not in our environment. We only know people who are either on the roads, working normal jobs, which once again, there's nothing wrong with that. But if you want to go a little bit further in life, there's no one really to cater for that. And so when I brought this podcast on, it's instantly, my first thing was like, it's for people like myself who, I've never been on the roads, don't get me wrong, but I know all my friends have been. And, you know, coming from the environments we come from, it's for them, basically. And you want to cater for that. And that's why I love having people like yourself on, because it's relatable entrepreneurs that people love. And people, I personally think people love to see people like yourself more than having someone like Elon Musk on, because they want someone relatable. They want someone to relate to you. I remember the first time I'd done a podcast with someone, his name was Chrono, Adam. People loved it just because he's from the ends and he just made it out. You know what I mean? And now he's driving around in a Bugatti. That's the most relatable thing that anyone could ever ask for. Do you know what I mean? Going back to when you were in jail, what did you do to pass time? Because I know that, you know, there's a couple classes and stuff you could do as well. Or what did you do?
So I did like classes, workshops. You know, I can't lie, I smoked a lot in there. I was smoking weed a lot. You know, that's just, you know, I'm just keeping it real. But that's all really, bro, man. That's genuinely all I was doing. There wasn't really much else that you could do during that time, man, if I'm being honest with you, man. It did, to be fair though, look, it wasn't too bad, because the people that I was around, you know, I'm still keeping in touch with some of them till this day. You know what I mean? So there was definitely some, you know, some bright parts of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, fairs. So to jump into the property side of things now, so you said you were working a few jobs and then you discovered property. Did you say you discovered Airbnb first, or?
So no, I discovered it was actually a strategy called HMO.
Oh yeah, I know about HMO.
So for those that don't know, this is when you get a big property and then you take it on and then you rent out each of the individual rooms to people that want to live there for 6 months, 1 year, whatever.
Yeah, and you can do that via actually buying the property itself or from another landlord, right? Or
both, yeah. So whether you want to buy a property, whether you want to rent a property and then re-let it out, 100% you can do it. Obviously for me, when I started, I didn't really have money to buy a property.
Yeah.
So that's the strategy I went down, rent to rent. Renting properties from landlords, then re-letting it out. You sure what I mean? So that's the strategy I actually got started off with. I got started off with it in Canary Wharf. How I got started was actually one landlord I linked up with. He was a portfolio landlord. He actually owned 11 of these properties in the Canary Wharf area. So I got together with him, started off managing one of his properties. You know, he liked what I was doing. And then eventually I ended up taking on all of the properties, man. And that's how I got in the game, bro. I'm going to be honest with you.
First of all, how did you even get your foot in the door with that guy in Canary Wharf?
You know what it was, bro? Bro, I can't lie to you, man. It was just a lot of hard work, man. A lot of hard work, because the way I just described it, it sounded like, okay, cool.
It was easy and he was already there.
Nah, bro. Okay, let me put it into context here. I got started in what? Let's say February, like full time. Like left my job, everything, bro.
What year?
2020.
2020. Okay.
Yeah, literally a month before the pandemic.
Yeah. All right. Cool.
Yeah.
So,
Interesting times. So yeah, and I was, bro, I'm not exaggerating, bro. I had made thousands of phone calls to landlords, to estate agent. I went on so many viewings. I got turned down so many times. It was a joke, innit? Like a lot of people, I'm gonna be real with you, from my experience, a good portion of people would have just gave up. They wouldn't have pursued it further. They would have just thought, this is long. You know, it doesn't work. You know, nobody wants to do this. Do you see what I'm saying? But for me, where I had that in my head to where, look, this was the only option. I'm not going back to working a job. I don't want to go back to the roads. So I wasn't going to stop. Do you see what I'm saying? So I think that worked out to my favor. And I can't lie, man. That's how I linked up with this landlord eventually. So it was definitely a numbers game for me, bro. I mean, if it wasn't him, it would have been someone else eventually. But yeah, bro, man, even when he saw me, like he kind of, you know, you can just, when you're speaking to someone, you can just tell now this guy's on it.
Yeah.
Like he's on it.
And what do you think he thought that about you?
100%.
Okay.
100%. Because, bro, like I went to his property to try and rent his property from him. Yeah. This was a 6-bed that was worth like $4,000 a month.
Yep.
Do you know what I'm saying?
In the Canary Wharf area.
In the Canary Wharf, in the Isle of Dogs. Mind you, I probably didn't have 10 bags to my name.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But I went there and I pitched him the idea. And he was kind of getting a feel for me, seeing what I was about. I think he could tell I was a bit of a newbie. But bro, I think he just liked that I was so on it. You see what I'm saying? And then one thing led to another. That's how I kind of got my foot in the door, bro.
Gave the opportunity.
100%, bro.
Yeah, you need someone to give you the opportunity as well. Are you still in contact with him and stuff like that?
Nah. So we kind of cut ties, and that's when, you know, after we cut ties, that's when I more shifted towards Airbnbs and service accommodation.
Okay.
Because the problem with HMO...
So that was just HMO then?
That was purely HMO.
Okay.
Bro. Purely HMO. So I started doing my thing with him. I wasn't making a crazy amount of money because obviously I was just starting and I was managing his properties.
Yep.
He had experience or whatever. But that gave me credibility. So now when I'm approaching other landlords, I'm saying, hey, look at all these properties I'm managing.
Yeah,
so
this is my portfolio.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, no, this guy knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
Let me give him my properties. So I linked up with a few more landlords after that as well. At one point, I had about I think it was about 15 or 16 HMOs around the Canary Wharf area. I think it totaled about 70 rooms in total.
That's not bad.
I mean, it was 70 different people you're managing, bro. 70 different personalities.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
You were just one man band at that time?
One man band at that time, bro.
Okay.
One man band at that time. You see what I mean?
Just to give a perspective, I just want to ask, like, because I actually genuinely curious to know, yeah, with 70 units, 70 people, one man band, is it enough for you to make a full-time living?
Oh, 100%. Yeah. I was making a full-time living.
So there's someone who can watch this podcast right now, do that strategy, and if they want to, they could just stick at that level and still make a full-time living.
100%. Mind you, bro, like I wasn't, like it was my own thing, it was my own business.
Yeah.
I was working on my own, I wouldn't say I was working on my own time, but because obviously you had to kind of be there if something went wrong.
Yeah.
But like it was my thing.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? I didn't have to report nowhere, like to a boss or something, like, and it was flexible as well. Does that make sense? So 100%, like anyone that's thinking, oh, you know, is this something that's doable? Could I get started off with it? 100%. Even if it's a case where you just want to get involved in it to replace your income, because that's what a lot of people want to do.
Yep.
100%. That around that time, I'll say, how much does it pay me? So all of those properties, just from that one landlord, I was honestly not making that much. Probably just a little over 2K a month, between 2 to 3K.
That's not bad though.
Per month. It was all right. It was a lot of work though. I can't lie. It was a lot of work.
Yeah, a lot of work, but yeah, it's still not bad for a starting point anyway.
Of course. And then obviously I started taking on more properties, and this was HMOs.
Yeah.
And I took on it was 4 more.
Yep.
So that added an extra, I would say extra $2,000 maybe. Just a little over, maybe just a little over.
Yeah.
And then the problem I faced though with HMOs is that it's a heavily regulated property strategy. So have you ever heard of a thing called Article 4?
No, I think maybe.
So what Article 4 is now, they put this in place in most boroughs in London, nearly all of them. So what that means now, you can't take on a 3-bedroom house and then convert the living room into a bedroom and then rent out each of the individual rooms. Before Article 4, you could do that.
Yeah.
But after Article 4, if you wanted to do that now, you have to go to the council to get planning permission
to do that.
And then change the use of the property.
Yeah.
Which, bro, is basically impossible.
Yeah. And then you got to go through a whole lot of paperwork and all that sort of stuff. Whereas before, it's just straight converted,
straight, simple, bro. Yeah. Very simple. So that's what made it very, very hard. So that meant now, if I was trying to take on more properties, I could only go for properties that were already HMOs.
Yeah.
And then first, there weren't that many, but second, if they were available, the rent was so high because the landlords knew how much money they could make.
Yeah.
Like usually, you'd approach a landlord who's got a 3-bedroom house. They don't really know what the potential is for HMO.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying?
So if we had to put this in an example, let's just say a 3-bedroom house. The landlord's got the house just as the 3-bedroom house. The rent on that would be, let's just say, how much roughly? If we're looking in London,
It depends. So Canary Wharf,
yeah,
a 3-bed house. I mean, at that time, you were probably looking at anywhere between 3 to maybe like 3.5K.
And that's for you to rent, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Now, once Article 4 has come into play, and you have to get a place now that is already listed as a HMO, and the landlord knows that, what's the price of that?
Bro, you're looking at maybe 4.5, maybe 5K.
Okay, so a lot more.
Like there's no money to be made.
Yeah.
There's no money to be
made.
made.
You're barely making any profit as a manager.
Yeah, I mean, or you're probably, if you are making profit, you're making, I don't know, a couple of £100 a month.
Yeah, which is
a
not
job.
really worth your time.
Yeah, I mean, people, if they could be making, this is how people used to calculate the average profits they can make. They'll be aiming for £100 per room. So if it was a 5-bedroom house, it's £500 a month. If it was more, etc. But bro, I was seeing properties that were going for £3,500 a month, and then profit wise, they were already HMOs. You're looking at what, 300 maybe a month?
Yeah.
You know, and you're exposing yourself to all that risk for what, £300 a month? It was dead, bro. It was dead. I can't lie.
So at the highest point, you had what, 70 HMOs under your belt, or was there more?
No. It was of HMOs. It was about 15.
Okay, 15. And so what was it? 70 different people.
Yeah, 70 different rooms. Yeah,
70 different rooms. Okay, so
exactly.
I want to ask this question as well. So with the money you're earning then at the high point of HMOs, and that was early in the property career, I'd say. What was that money like versus the money that you had maybe allegedly experienced in the past?
Yeah,
How does that weigh up?
Of course, and that's a very good question. I mean, I'm gonna be real with you, bro. I didn't see crazy money when I was on the road. I'm gonna be honest with you. I was probably making people's full-time wages.
No, but then again, you might not see crazy money, but being on the road, you've got elders who are making crazy money.
Of course.
And you're seeing that money.
Of course. No, you're 100% right. But the thing is, even with people that I came up with that you probably are familiar with as well, bro, a lot of these guys, I'm talking our age, by the way, no, they weren't really making, well, most of them weren't making money like that.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying? If some, they were making like a couple of grand a month, maybe 3-4 grand, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it's... Yeah, bro. Most people on the roads, they don't actually do their thing, bro. Man, they just do it for a living. I'm gonna be real with you. They do it to get by.
Yeah.
And it's sad when you think about it, bro. It is actually very, very sad. Do you see what I'm saying?
It's just normal life that they're trying to live, innit?
Bro, they're trying to, bro. They're trying to, but the thing is, like, they're not. I think what people miss on the roads is that, bro, you're pretty much running a business. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, this is an operation that you're running, bro. If you're trying to scale it and build it, there's a lot about yourself that you need to develop. In order to, it sounds a bit mad. I'm talking like, you know what I'm saying, philosophical? I don't even know the word I was looking for. But like, yeah, you have to develop yourself as a person for you to be able to scale that as a business, which it is a business, bro. Let's be real.
Yeah, it's true, yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying? Obviously for yourself, you probably know this as well, but in order for you to get to the level you're on right now, you had to develop as a person as well.
Yeah, of course. That's facts.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think that's what they missed that allows them just to keep them on a certain level. But to answer your previous question, money wise, bro, I'll say at the peak of my of my road life, I was probably making what, like 3.5 bags a month. Mind you, I was 19 at the time.
That's good, bro. You know, 18, 19, yeah, that's a lot of money, especially when you look at it back then, you're thinking, raw, I can get this car, I can get this.
Exactly,
get
bro.
the watch, get the phone, get whatever you want, basically, or you think you've got unlimited money. Even if 5 grand a month, you think you've got mad money at that age.
Bro, people that were making 5 grand a month my age, bro, they were rich in it.
And bear in mind, when we were in school as well, obviously 5 grand to us a month then is a lot. We didn't have none of this avenue of learning what money is online and all that sort of stuff. This is 10 years ago. No one really knew that what dropshipping was or what e-commerce was or anything like that. So none of this stuff existed. It was just either your path is roads or job.
Exactly, bro. And let's be real, bro. Most people don't want to do a job.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? At least with the road life, you could be your own boss. I'm not promoting it. Yeah. I'm not saying, oh, you should, you know what I mean? But it's just the reality of it.
Yeah.
That's what more alerts people to that.
But you learn key skills in it.
For a job?
Yeah. No, not in a job. On roads, basically developing yourself.
100%. You 100% learn key skills, bro. You learn, you know, how to deal with customers. You learn how to manage a team if you get to that level. You learn how to manage finances. You see what I'm saying? You learn how to get customers, marketing, sales.
Different things,
bro, all these things, bro.
Them
all these
text message marketing things.
I swear to God, bro. So no, the way I see it, I swear to God, but you see the people that do their thing on the roads, if they apply those same skill sets to a legitimate business, I think there's a very high chance they can make it work.
So then, why is it that, you know, as you said there, someone managing the properties, that's full-time living. They can earn a full-time life as you was, yeah? What made you want to go for more? Why?
Bro, I wanted to take over the world, bro. I'm going to be honest with you. Like, for me, you know, it is where once upon a time you were so popped down, even when you was in jail, but even when I came out of jail, I was popped down, bro. And it wasn't a nice feeling. Does that make sense? And yeah, bro, man, I felt like I had this duty, this responsibility to just take over, because I come from a big family as well. You see what I'm saying? I'm the youngest. And I kind of wanted to prove a point to where, bro, like I can really make this happen and put everyone on. Even the people around me, like friends, them, all of that, bro. Because, bro, no one's doing it. No one's done it.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying? So I feel like I kind of had a point to prove, bro, by kind of doing that. And I was definitely on a mission, bro.
Yeah, no, you got to be on a mission. That fire in the belly to just survive and, you know, provide for everyone, I suppose.
100%, bro. It's like, for example, what made you want to, you know, go hard with this and take it to
I just fed up with working, to be honest with you. I was like, no, I've got to get my own job, got to find my own business. But my whole thing was, look, I just want to start this podcast, talk to people like yourself who are in properties, talk to someone who's in, I don't know, into cars or whatever. And, you know, if I want to go down cars because I've spoken to this person and it seems like a good business, I'll go down there. But if I like property because I'm speaking to Yusuf and I like that, then I'll go into property. And the podcast was just going to get sacked off once I found the business. But for me, it was a bit different than that.
Of course.
So after the HMO and you realize, okay, cool, it's a bit more harder to scale now. How did you now transition and where did you go from there?
Guys, today's sponsor's here to revolutionize the financial game as we know it, so check this. TrustXPay are firm believers that financial freedom should be accessible to everyone. They're a team of passionate innovators, technologists, and financial experts committed to revolutionizing how people control their money. Their platform allows you to purchase over 30 popular coins, including Bitcoin, Ethereum, Ripple, and other emerging cryptocurrencies, all possible in just a few taps. And with AI monitoring crypto prices, TrustXPay ensures that you get the best rates for your transactions. They truly simplify crypto investing investments, making your financial management easy. And with a Visa card that's truly global, it's very simple. TXP users earn rewards with every transaction by earning TXP credits. And you can choose to redeem them rewards in either gold, silver, Bitcoin, or even carbon credits to help the environment. And here's where TXP solves a big problem that we all face. In an era of economic uncertainty, how do you protect the value of your money? Well, TrustXPay user can safeguard their wealth by storing in various assets or commodities. They offer a revolutionary way to protect your future. Your funds are fully insured with their network of insurance providers, offering personal protection up to $150 million. Guys, there's so many benefits to TrustXPay which I can't even list right now, so make sure you head on their website. You can check it all out for yourself. Use the code on the screen right now or the link in the description to get the discount that I made sure to provide for you guys.
So I actually, as I was doing it, I started looking more into service accommodation, because with that, the really good thing about that is there's not mad regulations involved with it. You can literally take on any property and turn it into an Airbnb service accommodation the next day. You see what I mean? So I started looking more into that, and then I actually got my first place in Slough.
Yeah.
So it's a 2-bed apartment. It was like,
Why so far away?
you know why? Yeah. It wasn't really like, I was looking for properties closer, but where a lot of the people I was finding weren't on it, that's the only reason. And then I found this one landlord who was on it, so I was like, nah, I gotta take this one.
Yeah.
You
Okay. And that was in Slough.
That was in Slough. So the rent on it was like what, £1,200 a month. And bro, and if you think about Slough, let's be real, most people don't really think much when they think about Slough. I mean, it's not that far away from Heathrow, but that's about it really.
Yeah.
And that goes to show you with this thing here, bro, it can genuinely work anywhere. Because I took it on, I would say in the first month, I cash flowed around £800 a month profit. And then from there on average, I was probably making anywhere between £900 to about £1,100 a month profit wise from that property. Mind you, in terms of setting it up, I didn't spend a crazy amount as well. I probably spent like close to 6K.
So did you still have all the other properties as well, the HMO management?
I did, but then I slowly started to offload them.
Okay.
Yeah, I slowly, because it was taking up way too much of my time, bro.
Yeah.
I felt like, because the thing is, where I was managing it for landlords, I wasn't making as much money compared to if I was doing rent-to-rents with them. Does that make sense? And these landlords, bro, they had me, I wasn't working for them, but bro, they had certain requirements that just took up a lot of my time.
Yeah.
And it was restricting me from scaling the other, like the service accommodation business.
Yeah.
So I just ended up offloading them, bro.
So that initial £900,000 a month wasn't just the only bit of cash flow you had. You still had the other HMOs.
Oh yeah. So that first landlord, he was the first one that I kind of, we had to have a conversation. Say, hey, bro, look, I got to stop, because he even saw it. I wasn't prioritizing his properties as much. I started prioritizing other properties I was taking on. He saw that. So we kind of came to the conclusion that, hey, look, it's better if I just split. But I actually found him someone else though. So he was cool. But then I held on to the other properties for a bit. Had about 4 other HMOs after that, which were producing an okay amount. And then I was taking on more and more properties for service accommodation. And then as I was taking on more and more, I just kind of let go of the HMOs. And I just slowly started focusing on the service accommodation properties.
Yeah, damn. So then how many, where did you just go from there?
So
did you get another one from the same landlord? Because landlords generally have more than one property.
Good point. No, I didn't take one from the same landlord, but I ended up in Slough. I ended up taking on 3 more. And I ended up at one point I had about 21 properties with service accommodations. But these are all in London, by the way. The Slough ones, I actually gave them up as well at one point.
Okay.
Because I ended up taking on so many properties I say so many properties, but the 21 were actually all in London. So we're talking Canary Wharf and Central London.
Yeah.
Now, the reason why I let go of the Slough ones, not because they weren't making money, because they definitely were making money, but where I had to manage a different team over there. Because, bro, like it's not close.
Yeah.
Canary Wharf and Slough. So it's a different team that I need to basically manage. They're not really prioritizing it too much because they're dealing with people that have got like 20, 30, 40 properties, and then there's me with 3 properties. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So that was the main reason why I kind of offloaded those properties and then solely focused on the ones in Canary Wharf and Central London. And yeah, bro, I did take on more. I took on a property in Reading and a few up north in Manchester, etc. But I ended up offloading those as well and just solely focusing on the one in London's.
You just mentioned team there, yeah? At one point, did this become more than just a one-man band?
Bro, when I started, I would say when I probably got to my 6th property.
Okay.
Yeah, when I got to my 6th.
What is that within the HMO or the service accommodation?
Nah, service accommodation. To be fair, even with HMOs, I was a one-man band, but where the properties were all in one area,
you could kind of manage it.
I could manage it.
But with the service accommodation, if you've got one in Slough, Canary Wharf, Central, 3 different areas, and for people who've never been to London, that's a few hours apart from each other, which is long.
Exactly. So when it came to teams, I would say, by the time I got my 6th property, this is when I hired a virtual assistant. So this is someone that, assistant that you can basically hire in a third world country, the Philippines, Africa, wherever, and you're paying them what, $4 or $5 an hour. And they're helping you out with all the admin tasks involved. And then at one point as well, obviously your cleaning team as well, that's very important. But I had them from the start. Maintenance team, also very, very important. And I eventually hired a property manager as well. I eventually hired a property manager. When I got to how many properties did I have? It was about 16. About 16 properties. I hired a property manager, and then he was helping me out with managing the properties. And then I scaled it to 21 properties.
So the actual concept of service accommodation is basically short-term rentals. So basically, if I was to go on booking.com and see a house, that would basically fall under that, right? Or
Exactly. But not just that as well, because with service accommodation, what a lot of people don't know is that there are many people looking for service accommodation properties looking to book long-term. So I'll give you an example. The properties we had in Canary Wharf, as I'm sure you know, Canary Wharf is like the financial hub of the whole UK. There's so many different corporate companies that are based there. So the people that were traveling to those areas, we were getting a lot of people booking for a month, 2 months, 3 months. There were some people that even booked for like 5 months. Do you see what I mean? And people don't, when they think about that, they just don't believe it. They think, right, how can someone rent, like, you're basically renting a hotel. Do you see what I mean? And people don't actually have that knowledge to understand that people out there actually rent a lot more long term with Airbnbs. It's like, for example, when you're going to Dubai, I'm pretty sure you know that there's a big market there for people wanting to stay in these Airbnbs and service accommodation for a couple of months.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? It's exactly the same thing over here.
Yeah, because you're paying more or less the same price as average hotel cost within the area, right?
I wouldn't say it's the same price. You're actually saving money as well, because let's say you got a hotel in the area, and then let's say that the hotel is charging £100 a night for a room, But now, how many people can that accommodate?
Just yourself.
Maybe your girlfriend. If you have one. All right, that's £100 a night. But let's say, for example, now it's a family that wants to book a hotel. Let's say it's a family of 5. Bro, that's 5 rooms. All right, sorry, 4 if it's a couple. 4 rooms. That's £400 a night. That's no joke.
A lot of money,
That's no joke. Whereas if you took a 2-bedroom apartment, bro, a 2-bedroom apartment that can sleep 6 people, and that 2-bedroom apartment is charging what, £120 a night, 130 maybe.
Yeah, and bro, do you know what? I can say this for myself as well, because every time I go to Dubai long term, I always get an apartment. Mainly just even if I go for myself, because I want space. I want a kitchen in there, though I won't cook out there, but I still want it there. I want a lounge, I want a little living area, I want a balcony, I want these little amenities that are going to make my stay look nicer. I don't want to just be trapped in a hotel room unless I'm going out or something like that. Do you know what I mean? So I'd 100% get an apartment all day long. So it makes sense. But then going back to what you're saying, the corporate companies, you can get a company from, let's just say, New York, whatever, another financial hub, saying, yep, we need you to go to, London, go to Canary Wharf. And they're paying for the accommodation. It's not even yourself paying for it.
Exactly. So the people that we were getting, it was their companies paying for it. It wasn't them that were paying for it.
Yeah.
So man, I think a lot of people definitely don't have enough knowledge to, see what's really going on with this. Because they just think, Airbnbs, people booking for 1 night or 2 nights. You know what I mean? Oh, what if it doesn't get booked up? I'm going to be losing money. Do you see what I'm saying? So, but for people that don't know, or maybe have a small idea, there's a lot of opportunity with this, man. I mean, it's crazy to me that a lot of people don't know. Does that make sense?
What opportunity would you say is there out there that you haven't hit yet, or you haven't tapped into yet, that you want to?
What, property related?
Yeah.
Property related. Oof. So at this current moment in time, we're more focusing on buying properties, doing the buy, refurbish, refinance strategy. So I'm pretty sure you're aware, but this is when you're buying a rundown property, you're fixing it up, and then you're either remortgaging it and then getting your money back out, or you're flipping it and making a profit from it. I would say opportunities that I'm looking to do is more of that, doing a lot more BRRs. But what I really want to start doing, and this is something I'm going to start doing at some point, is start renting out blocks. So doing rent to rents, but instead of you renting out 1 or 2 places, you're renting out blocks of 30, 40, 50 apartments.
I'm going to show you something. I apologize for being on my phone.
That's cool, man. Don't worry about it.
Because I said to one of my estate agents the other day that I know I want to get a property. He was like, all right, cool. I've got one for you in Leytonstone. The average going price is about 700 grand. I can get it for you for 300. Bro, do you want to see the state of this property? I was like, listen, you keep that shit.
Oh shit!
There was a tree growing in the property, bro.
That's mad.
And I was like, no, that's crazy. That's mental, bro. Look, the garden looks like a full-on grow.
Bro, that's not even a property. I don't know what that is.
Literally, I don't know what that is. It's like a jungle. But if something come up like that, for 300 grand, and the going rate on that road is 750, would you get it?
I mean, it's a very good question. I would say potentially. I think there's a good chance that we would, depending on what the build costs are, how much it costs to actually refurbish it. Let's say, for example, it costs us what, 100k to refurbish. Okay, we buy it for 300 grand, and then we spent some money on legal stuff, etc. But now we spend an extra 100 grand to get it up to scratch. Okay, let's say now we spent 500 grand from it, but it's worth 700 grand now. 100% I would.
Yeah.
Because that's a 200 grand. If you're flipping it, that's 200 grand profit you're making from that one property.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
You sure what I'm
So
saying?
was your plan from the beginning to get into buy, refurb, fit, sell, or, flip?
Yeah, I mean, the thing is with rents to rents, that's always going to be a starting point for people to level up in the property game.
But that's what I'm saying. So when you started, did you know that this was a starting point and this is the end goal?
I wouldn't even say that's the end goal, bro. I'm going to be honest with you, bro. Me personally, I'm not particularly passionate when it comes to property. I'm just going to be so honest with you, bro.
Yeah. Do it because it makes money.
No, not even that. I would say the reason why I'm saying I'm not passionate about it is because I'm not passionate about buying properties. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because it's just, okay, you buy a property for 100 grand, it's making you what? £300-400 a month profit. Not even that. 300 pounds a month clean profit.
Yeah.
So it's not exciting. And people that usually do it that way, bro, they don't make nothing happen with that. Don't get me wrong, long term is very, very good because over time property prices increase and it goes up, so you're benefiting long term. But for the here and now, bro, what's happening?
Cash flowing.
Cash flow's not there, bro. It's not there. It's a joke.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying? So this is why I'm not passionate about it, bro. Like investing in property, that's not the thing that kind of changed my life. Does that make sense? It was pretty much starting a property business. Two very different things.
Yeah.
So you got property investing,
Yep.
and you got starting a business.
Yeah, it's almost like having the umbrella that oversees everything that you're doing.
100%, bro. It's kind of like Uber, for example. They don't own any cars,
Yeah.
but they're
The middling for everything.
exactly,
basically, yeah.
exactly. They're controlling other people's
So
cars.
arbitrage service, that's what it's called. Yeah.
Exactly. Arbitrage. Exactly. That's the correct word. Yeah, bro. It's like, Deliveroo. They don't own any restaurants or takeouts. Does that make sense? So it's the exact same thing with this, bro. And the cash flow from it. Let's say you're spending. I'll give you an example. That Slough property, I spent 6 grand on it, but it was making me between 900 to 1,100 pounds a month. Bro, that's sick.
Yeah.
Like you can do a lot with that, innit? And mind you have these deals for 3 years. So let's say you're making your money back after 5 months. Okay, now that money you're taking back out now, you invest it into another property. Now guess what? You're making 2 grand a month now.
Yeah.
Now how long is it going to take for you to make your money back from those 2 properties? A couple of months.
Yeah, literally. And then you get another one.
You get another
keep
one.
Going, you keep going.
Yes, bro. Now we're talking some serious stuff, bro.
Yeah.
We're talking serious potential. Whereas if I had 50 grand, bro, and I invested into a property up north, that's going to be making me a couple £100 a month. That's dead.
Yeah.
That's dead.
You can make more money by just doing the arbitrage, basically.
100%, but
With little less investment as well.
Way less investment, but I think it depends who you're talking to as well. Because some people, I would speak to some people that work in very good jobs. They work in IT, software engineering, and they're making 5 figures a month from their jobs. I wouldn't tell those people to get started rent to rents. I would more tell them, okay, look, you're making good money, park off your money, invest into properties and focus on building that long-term wealth for yourself.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I suppose it comes down to how much time you've got active to yourself. Because obviously if you're working a very intensive 9-to-5 job, you can't put all your energy into properties now.
Exactly.
Because you can't be spreading your energy like that. But yeah, if they're making 5 figures a month, they can buy some property, keep that as investments, those assets, and have them running as maybe long-term rentals or something on an actual landlord basis. Maybe have someone manage that, someone like yourself to come in and say, yep, this is what I'll do for you. This is just sort of a random question. Have you ever gone down that route now of going to, I suppose, wealthy people and saying, look, here's not as like financial advice, but going up to them and say, look, listen, you're doing good for yourself, buy some property and I'll manage it.
Personally, I haven't. Like, that's come to my mind, but I know quite a few people that are doing exactly that, bro. And the reason why personally it hasn't come to my mind is because right now I've got an education business, and we're mainly focusing on working with people that are looking to start this business.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? So as I'm sure you know, bro, you can't be doing too many things at once. You gotta like keep your attention on one thing until that gets to a certain point.
Yeah, the education business is key, man, because like I've been thinking about it more recently as well. It goes back to the whole thing we were saying in the beginning of people who are once in a position or once in our shoes of being in these, low class environments or anything like that, trying to find their foot in where they want to go.
100%. But the thing is, bro, even with property, you remember before I said I'm not passionate about property, we're talking about the old school way of investing in property, bro. Now, I mean, for example, like there's a different strategy. This strategy is actually called social housing inside property. I'm not sure if you've heard of it.
Yeah, no, I know about social housing.
You've heard of it, yeah?
It's where the government pay, right?
Exactly. So to keep it very, very simple, the government over the next 10 years have allocated 150 billion pounds to tackle the housing crisis in the UK. As of now, these are rough numbers, but there's around 300,000 people that are either living in temporary accommodation, hotels, or they're homeless.
Yep.
Does that make sense? So the government have allocated that much to build more homes or to attract more landlords to accommodate these people.
Yeah.
So now, if we're talking about like not even buying properties, but rent to rents now, if we're renting properties from landlords and doing this as well, bro, there's still, even that's a lot better than, you know, doing the strategy to where you're buying properties, because I was speaking to a few people that are actually in that space and they're working with investors. And one of my friends was telling me, look, we're working with investors and the minimum amount that we're charging people to get into these deals is £13,500.
Yeah.
But on average, not even on average, they're guaranteed to make back £600 a month.
Well, this is what I'm saying. The old way, as you said there as well, the old way of investing into property, how the old generations like my dad or whoever does it, it's not really the same like that anymore.
It's not. It's really not. I mean, you got to think about it as well, bro. Like back when they were coming up, like the older generation, property prices were a lot cheaper.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, paying 10 grand for a property.
Do you see what I'm saying? They were way cheaper. It was way cheaper, and they were getting 100% mortgages. Yeah. Do you see what I mean? So the game is different, bro. Like now, it's just like to get into property, bro. It's near enough impossible for most people.
With the education business, then, do you think that there's going to be a lot more ways to invest into property in the future as well?
100%. There's already many different ways to invest in property now. So I just gave you an example: social housing. And mind you, that's passive.
Yeah.
You're not doing nothing, by the way. The social housing provider, they're the ones that are doing all the work.
Yeah.
And the rent is backed by the government. And you're making £600 a month. And mind you, those deals are 3 years. So that's one strategy. Rent to rents. We spoke about that. We're renting properties from landlords and then we're re-letting them out. Whether they're service accommodations, HMOs, you know, it doesn't really matter. You're still cash flowing from those properties as well. What else? Even, for example, BRRs. I mean, you're buying properties, but you're taking a lot of your money back out and then you're reinvesting it into more and more properties. This is how people end up buying hundreds of properties just from that one strategy.
Yep.
So there's that as well. There's what's the other strategy? Like buy to service accommodation. So when you're buying properties, but then you're running it as a service accommodation and you're making silly profits, stupid profits.
So what's the difference between that and rent to rent? As in that falling under the rent to rent category?
Of course. So rent to rents, you don't actually own the asset.
Yeah.
But if you buy the property...
Oh, okay. You're saying basically buying it and then renting it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But with rent to rents, you're actually paying the landlord's rent. And then you're and then you're seeing the profits for yourself.
Yeah.
But when you own the property, you're not paying no one's rent now.
Yeah. You're paying the mortgage.
You're paying the mortgage, but that's very little compared to what you're usually paying for rent.
Yeah.
And the rest of that is clean profit.
Yeah.
And if I give you certain examples where people have bought properties up north, very cheap, but they're big properties. They're like 4 or 5 bedrooms and they're turning over, bro, close to 5 figures a month, innit? From these properties that they've probably spent like 100, 150 grand a month. I mean, 150 grand to buy.
And that's mad because you wouldn't see that type of rent, those figures coming from a property up north as well.
You wouldn't.
It's generally a lot cheaper, but then if you're renting it as a service accommodation, then it's different.
You wouldn't. You 100% wouldn't. Because it just comes down to the knowledge. Yeah. So if we know now that, let's say for example, we have an area in Yorkshire, a 3-bedroom house in that area is, I don't know, 120 grand. We now take that property we now convert the living room, we split the living room in half and turn that into a bedroom. So now it's a 4-bed, and in that area, 4-bedroom Airbnbs, they go for what, £200 a night? Especially at a certain level. Yeah. And now you've taken it on, you've converted it to a certain point, and bro, you're making stupid money per month.
Well, this is exactly how I was thinking about living out in Dubai, you know, because obviously I think it's quite aware now that my plan is to move to Dubai. My plan was to buy something, obviously stay there when I'm there in Dubai, but then when I'm back in the UK, put it on rent as an Airbnb or something like that. Have you ever thought about investing in other countries or anything just to, you know,
100%. I've looked at the Dubai market. I actually looked at that last year when I was there for a few months. The thing with Dubai, and I think we were talking about this off camera, is that, you know, the market over there isn't that much certainty with the market over there compared to the UK market.
Yeah.
Because the UK market has been around forever, whereas the Dubai market has been around for what, 25 years maybe.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying? So when it comes to property prices, where it's going, is it going to go up? Is it going to go down? Is it a bubble? Is it going to burst? Nobody knows.
Yeah, the UK's got the history behind it and they've got the backing.
Exactly. So that's the main reason why I was a little bit skeptical and hesitant with buying properties in Dubai. Not to say that I wouldn't do it, but don't get me wrong, when it comes to service accommodation and Airbnbs, bro, people are killing it over there. They are killing it over there. Usually when people are at a certain level over here, they go to Dubai and start doing it.
Yeah, that's when they start excelling. As we'll talk about off camera, literally, but the second you start going to Dubai, put your foot in the right places and you will excel.
100%. And it's actually, believe it or not, it's actually a lot easier to do this strategy right here, the rent to rent strategies in Dubai compared to here. Because the thing you need to know is that a lot of landlords are not really for this sort of thing, like, because they've got some sentimental attachment to the property.
Okay,
do you see what I'm saying? They want to give it to a family, good people.
Grew up there, something like that.
Exactly. Whereas in Dubai, bro, they don't give a fuck. They're investors. They probably never even seen a property in person.
Yeah, literally. They just want to part the money off. That's
Exactly.
it,
So they don't care.
yeah, and if you're bringing in more money than what they put in and what they're getting out, then of course win-win for everyone.
Exactly. So it's a lot easier to do in Dubai. The only con I'd say in Dubai is that, and you probably know this as well, over there they collect checks.
Yeah.
So they collect checks for like one check for the whole year, or 2 checks, and that's 6 months you're paying upfront.
Yeah.
And typically when you're renting places, that's what they expect.
Yeah.
So you're paying a little bit more in rent upfront. I think there's a way for you to break it down into 4. So you're paying
Quarterly.
Yeah, you're paying quarterly. But that's probably the only con I'd say.
Yeah.
In Dubai.
But I mean, I suppose if it's making you more money, then that little bit extra investment, whether it be 6 months up front or even the whole year up front, might be worth it.
I mean, I wouldn't say so. The reason why is because that 6 months you're paying up front, now, like, how many more properties could you have taken on if you didn't invest 6 or 12 months up front for that one property?
True. But then you'd be getting more money out of it now. Because like, I'm looking at it in a perspective of, let's just say a landlord came to me and said, look, I've got this property, this 2-bedroom apartment on Marina, it's going to cost you £2,000 a month. I want it all up front. So let's just say 24 grand, all up front, yeah? I hear where you're coming from, but at the same time, now that your rent's parked off and your rent's paid for, everything you're getting now, you haven't got that monthly expenditure of rent. Do you know what I mean? So not to say your profits are high. I suppose it works out the same, to be fair. It's just a bigger investment that you got.
It's a bigger investment. It just takes you, it's going to take you, yeah, it is kind of the same, but it's just going to take you a bit longer to recoup your money.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah,
but it's very, very similar. But the thing is, it's like, okay, let's use that example. Yeah. Let's say £2,000 a month. Yeah. You pay 12 months up front. So what are you making right now? You're making, you're paying 24 grand for the rent, yeah? Mind you still got bills to cover and everything. But let's say that property is making you £1,000 a month in profit.
Yeah.
But let's say now you don't have to pay another 2 grand. So now you're making 3 grand. So yeah, I mean, you are right. It's not going to take a ridiculous amount of time. But at the same time, bro, it just means that you're not going to be making as much cash flow as quickly. Does that make sense? Because you're still taking time to recoup the cost from that one deal. So you're not really in profit, bro, if you think about it.
Yeah.
You're making money, but you're not in profit. But now let's look at it in a slightly different way now. That 24K you invested for that one property now, let's say you split that across 6, 12, 18, let's say 3 properties now. But then you're making £1 grand a month from each one. Do you see what I mean? And you get your money back quicker, but then you're actually making that in profit.
Yeah.
Whereas once you pay really and truly, bro, you're making £1 grand a month in profit with the one that you paid 12 months for. Because if you work out how much you paid minus all the bills and that, you're making £1 grand in profit.
A month, yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's what I would personally say when it comes to which is a better route to take.
Well, Yusuf, being young, man, I mean, you're only a year older than me. I'm sure you want to do more than just property, right? Or
100%, bro. 100%. Like I said, for me, I'm not particularly passionate about properties. I'm more passionate about business. Starting businesses, building it, scaling it to a certain level. That's what's allowed me to pretty much change my life. It's just a property business that I got started off with.
Yeah.
But none of this was a business. So what I'm going to start doing, eventually, I'm going to start getting to the point where we're actually acquiring businesses. We're acquiring businesses, not necessarily that are struggling, but even businesses that are struggling, and then getting them to a certain level and then selling them on for a massive profit.
for more, yeah.
Exactly.
So that's the next step.
That's the next step, bro. That's what I'm more passionate about. And yeah, bro, man, this is what I'm going to be focusing on.
Yeah, just to start, bro. Just to start. Still young and you're going to be killing it, bro.
100%, man. I think there's definitely a bigger play though, because obviously there's a lot of things that I want to do, but at the same time, I don't want to make it sound cheesy and say I'm on a mission, but at the same time, bro, it's like a big part of what I want to do is show people or expose people to the game. Expose people to the game that, for them, they would think, this is not doable. This is only doable if you come from a certain place. This is only doable if you're raised by a certain family.
Yeah.
If you have, a certain backing. Whereas, bro, like if they're seeing it coming from me and I'm talking a certain way, I'm not talking polished, I'm not talking the Queen's English. I'm talking like Mandem.
You just got it from ends, bro.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Literally, yeah.
I'm talking like Mandem, man. If they're seeing someone like me, like, raw, like, this guy sounds like me.
Yeah.
Like, if he can do it, bro, 100% I can do it.
Yeah. Literally, be the inspiration to people who are in your position and stuff like that.
100%.
We didn't have much of that.
100%, but that's a massive part of what I want to do. But I would even argue to say that's probably bigger than all the other stuff that I mentioned. 100%,
Which is
bro.
sick, bro. You said you got a big family, yeah? You got older brothers and stuff?
Yeah, bro. I'm the youngest in the family, bro. I got 6 older brothers.
6 older brothers. Were they ever on roads and stuff like that?
Yeah, a few of them. Yeah.
I can imagine so. But like, what they're doing now, like, how do your whole family look at like the positions you've put yourself in? You know, because it's almost like life changing, going from one side to the other and remaining fully clean, earning money in the best ways possible. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Now I'll put it this way: I'm like the first one in the family to really like start and like build a legitimate business. Like I'm actually the first one. So now they look at it and they give me props, man. They're very, very proud, man. And I think they're even more proud because of where I came from once upon a time. Because think about it, bro. Like if someone's on the road, they went jail, people are gonna look at it, people are naturally gonna think, right, that guy's finished.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? It's not even their fault, but it's just like it's a bias that a lot of people have.
It's a natural instinct.
It's a natural instinct.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? So the fact that and I'm gonna be real, bro, I didn't have to go on the roads. Like, I was probably dumb in it. Like I had like a family, they patterned me, they literally give me everything that I wanted. If I needed money, I'd get money. Do you know what I'm saying?
It's just the fact that we're easily influenced by our friends or peers or people that we see around.
Exactly.
People who look cool at the time. Do you know what I mean?
100%, bro. You want to be a part of it, bro.
Yeah, literally.
You want to be with the man them.
Yeah, you're seeing the man them, you're seeing the oldest pull up in C63s or whatever.
You know what I'm saying?
And you're just thinking, raw, like, what's my man on? Do you know what I mean? And you think, oh, all right, cool, that's the route. So it's interesting, bro. It's interesting.
So you want to be a part of that, bro. But nah, man, that's kind of, so that's for me. Nah, man, I hope to be a big inspiration to a lot of people. I kind of am a little bit, but you know.
Alhamdulillah, bro. Alhamdulillah.
Thank you, bro. But even yourself, bro, like someone like yourself that has a massive podcast and a massive channel as well, bro. We come from the same place. We knew a lot of the same people.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? So when they're looking at you, bro, they're thinking, bruv, like, that's mad. Like, I don't see why I can't do this.
Yeah, we try. You know
what I'm saying? Obviously, there's still more to do. There's always still more to do, but it's true, bro.
Yeah.
It's true. How many people? I don't know people that I came from the ends that are doing podcasting on the same level as you. I don't know that. I don't know many road people that are doing that.
No, it's funny, bro, because even when I'm around ends or on the old school road or something like that, obviously you can't miss my car, bright yellow. But it's mad because people always ask, like, the first question is, oh, where you from, bro? What are you doing around here? I'm thinking, bro, I live here, bro. I grew up here. What are you on about? And they're just like, what, raw? Like, you grew up here and stuff like that. And I'm just thinking, that's crazy, bro. The other day I was on 7 Kings High Road.
Yeah.
In some pizza shop, and just one of the brothers from the ends, man, them coming, like, and he was like, you ain't from around here, bro. What are you doing here and all that sort of stuff? Yeah. Not no hot up ones, but I mean, like,
did he recognize you?
Yeah, recognize you. I was,
yeah, cool.
And he was just like, no, like, there's no way you're from around here. You can be from here. Like, we don't see people like this. And I was thinking, well, hopefully you do now with people like Yusuf, people like myself, and, you know, coming from our environments, we've got the inspirations now.
Do you know what I'm saying? And think about how many people that could be inspired from that, just from you alone, bro. Yeah. Just from you alone. You probably get people messaging you, telling you that as well anyways.
Hopefully, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Nah.
Fairs, bro. Yusuf, what message would you want to leave for your audience?
Message that I want to leave for the audience? I would say the message I want to leave is there's so many opportunities out here, man. Like they're like the amount of, it sounds a bit cheesy, but the amount of money there is to be made, the amount of opportunities, the amount of ventures there are to get started off with is stupid. I think one thing that people miss, the mark that people miss, and this is something that helped me out massively with the current business I have right now and even my business before, is utilizing social media the correct way. I think you could also agree to this as well. Social media, when utilized the correct way, can be a very, very powerful tool, like crazy, out of this world. Like you wouldn't even think of it. I was never a social media guy. I only started social media because of business. As of now, like I've got a coaching business. I've been doing it for 2 years. All of the leads I've got, all of the clients I've got, I've not paid 1 penny in running ads.
Yeah.
All organic, bro. Organic. People just seeing me, what I'm about, the knowledge I'm demonstrating. From there, bro, I'm able to build a decent sized little business. Obviously, we're continuing to grow and scale, but the power of social media, I'm small fry compared to a lot of people that are doing it on a massive, massive level. Think about Alex Hormozy, for example.
Yeah.
Like, until he started doing the school thing, everything was completely organic. And he's worth hundreds of millions. And
yeah. I mean, even his school thing is quite organic as well, because he just set up ways to make it, you know, like for example, he's got school games, yeah? It's an organic way. He's not putting money into ads, but it's creating such big exposure for it because it's creating competitiveness within other people to get it popping, basically.
No, you're right, but no, he is actually running paid ads.
Yeah.
I see it all the time.
Okay, on stories and stuff like that.
Stories, Instagram, Facebook, like he's going hard. Like I can't go on social media without coming across this guy's paid ads.
Yeah.
But before he started school, he never used to do that.
Yeah.
It was all organic. And bro, this guy was like, he's worth hundreds of millions. And he's taking on deals that are worth 10, 20, 30 plus million pounds or dollars.
Yeah.
And he's doing that all organically, bro. Like nothing. So I guess my biggest advice to people, aside from obviously, keep out your grind, don't stop, and there's so much money to be made out here, is utilize and tap into the power behind social media, because it's so powerful. And if you do so correctly, if you have the right knowledge to share with people, it can take you to a different level that you wouldn't have once thought was possible.
I'm going to ask you this because you come from the exact same environment as me, yeah? What was your whole thought train about getting on social media in the first place?
Bro, I didn't like it.
Neither did I.
I didn't
Which
like
is why I
it,
wanted to
bro.
have this conversation with you to see if I was the only one or if you're like that as
No,
well.
bro, I was never a social media guy. Never a social media guy, bro. Ever. Like, I can't even explain how much of a social media guy I wasn't. But I got involved in it, back in 2020. But this wasn't even like Instagram or TikTok or nothing like that. This was on Facebook.
Okay.
So I was more comfortable doing that because I didn't have my peers on Facebook. Everyone was on Instagram.
Yeah.
So I started doing everything else probably like a year and a bit later. Bro, it was mad uncomfortable, bro. It was mad. Like I can't explain to you how uncomfortable it was for me.
You feel awkward?
I felt mad awkward,
Because
bro.
was it the same for you where, because all I was thinking, nah, bro, I don't want people in the ends to see my face online doing this.
That's exactly what I didn't want. Friends, family, I didn't want these lot to see me. I felt exposed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
literally.
saying? It's true though. It's a bit of a mad word to use, but you feel exposed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's funny as well because like thinking about it now, okay, they see you, what?
Yeah, what's going to happen?
What's gonna happen?
What they say? They don't say anything. If anything, when you get up, they say, oh, we rate you, we respect it.
Does that make sense?
You know what I mean? Yeah.
But at the time, you're not thinking that. You're just thinking,
yeah.
oh, I don't want these lot to see it.
Yeah.
You think you're going to die, basically.
No, it's interesting to have that conversation with you because all I stress now to people is get on social media. And we were once them people saying, I do not want to go on social media. And now we're here preaching it. Everyone jump on.
100%. You know what it is, bro? It's you're putting yourself outside your comfort zone like crazy.
Yeah.
And that's business for you, bro.
Yeah, literally, yeah.
Like if you're trying to progress in business and make it to a certain level, you're constantly having to put yourself out of your comfort zone. And doing social media is just a form of that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess aside from the social media thing, what would be my main message? Bro, get ready to put yourself out of your comfort zone if you're really trying to make it happen big and continuously, because it never stops.
Yeah, it never stops. Well, Yusuf, I want to thank you for coming on the podcast, bro, and hopefully we can do one in the future. I think when we both elevate in life and stuff like that and make it cracking, man. Sit down again, have this conversation, see where we both at.
Bro, I'm more than honored to, be a part of your podcast, and 100%, man. Look forward to coming back here in the future. Hopefully.
As I said, bro, you're killing it online. I couldn't not have you on the podcast. You know what I mean? If anyone's going to do a podcast with you, bro, I'm going to make sure CEOCAST is the first. You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate
we spot
that,
the talent
bro,
from early.
Nah.
You know what I'm saying, bro?
I appreciate that. Thank you so much, bro, man. I guess, again, I'm very, very honored to be a part of it, man. I see you doing your thing. You're doing big things. You're interviewing massive guests. So the fact that you reached out to me, bro, it's been a massive honor. I
appreciate you, bro. And I'm going to leave all the links to your socials in the description. So if you're watching right now, make sure you go in the description below. Follow Yusuf on Instagram, Facebook, and so YouTube's all right.
YouTube as well,
TikTok,
bro.
all the links are going to be there. Make sure you follow us. Subscribe if you like the content that you've seen. And until then, I'll catch you lot on the next episode of CEOCAST. Peace.